Hi, I'm Stephen Holder here at Lucas Oil Stadium. I'm with Greg Doyle of the Indy Star. And Greg, today, it felt like rock bottom for the Colts. 27-0, they go down. Was this rock bottom for you?
How can you tell the difference? All they do is swim on the rocks and crash. I mean, this team is terrible, and the coach is terrible, and the GM is not very good. The roster sucks. The owners has no clue at all. I don't even know why I'm speaking English. I should be speaking in gibberish right now because I'm on the field where everything else happens in gibberish. This franchise, yeah.
He's speechless.
What's going on, everybody? UCF Jaguar back with GenJag.com, and this Sunday the Jaguars are back home again as they look to bounce back after a loss to the Cardinals, as they will host the 3-8 Indianapolis Colts with an AFC South showdown. So the Jaguars are going into this game with a record of 7-4. So we're gonna go ahead and break down this game for you.
It's a foot race. Robinson and Browner, and it's Robinson who wins it. Touchdown, Jacksonville. His 14th win. Bortles with top, looking deep for Robinson.
So I don't really throw around the word must win very often, but this game is a definite must win because you looked at the Jaguars' upcoming schedule last couple of weeks and you saw the Browns, you saw the Cardinals, you saw the Colts, and you saw a bunch of teams that the Jaguars were clearly better than, but you were kind of imagining that they were probably going to lose one of those games. And we lost to an NFC team in the Arizona Cardinals, so now we're 0-2 against the NFC. But this is a big game because it's a division game, and division games are what ultimately determines tiebreakers after the head-to-head. You got first head-to-head, then you have your division record, and then you have conference record. So the Indianapolis Colts were a team that were clearly better than, and it's a game that we absolutely have to win. Now, last time we played against the Colts, we absolutely dominated. I mean, it was by far the Jaguars' most dominating victory of the year. We won 27-0. The defense got a shutout. You had 10 sacks on the day. The offense was clicking. You had a good run game. Even Blake Bortles was really good and really efficient. So we played really well all around the ball. And this is definitely a game that the Jaguars match up pretty well in. You look at the Colts, they are leading the NFL in sacks allowed, and the Jaguars leading the NFL in sacks. And that's one reason why we were able to sack Jacoby Brissett about 10 times last game. And he was holding the ball a lot because our cornerbacks were doing so well covering, and he had nowhere to throw the ball. So the defense was definitely sack happy that game as we pretty much dominated. I wouldn't expect the same kind of dominating performance again just because it's so hard to replicate something like that. But I would expect the Jaguars to hopefully be able to come out of this with a victory because this is a game that they must win. If they don't want to drop a game behind the Tennessee Titans. You want to try to get a jump on this AFC South really bad just because, November and December are the times that you need to win. We're entering the first game of December, so we're going to have to come out of here and show some grit and come out of here with a victory. Now, some things we need to do to win this game are we need to shut down T.Y. Hilton again. Whenever T.Y. Hilton gets over 100 yards, the Colts seem to win. But when you pretty much take T.Y. Hilton out of the offense, then it's a whole different game, you know what I mean? Usually the other team dominates, so we need to be able to shut down T.Y. Hilton. We have Jalen Ramsey to be able to cover him. That shouldn't be too much of a worry for me. But, our defensive back group, we had to bounce back after last week. Everyone was talking about the Browns being a trap game, but then I think the Jaguars heard that, and they're like, no, we can't go in there and lose this game. But they weren't really talking about the Cardinals too much as being a trap game, and it really looked like the Jaguars walked into that one sleepwalking in a way. They looked like they saw the record. They're like, okay, they're a mediocre to bad team. We should be able to take care of them. But they went over there, and the defense let up 27 points, which is very uncharacteristic of the defense. So the defense has to have a bounce-back game. Hopefully that was a game that kind of opened their eyes. Granted, if there's any game that you want to lose, it is the NFC, just because when it comes to tiebreaker, that's what matters the least. But, you definitely want to come out of that one with a win. But we didn't. But hopefully this kind of wakes up the team and gets us to really the defense to focus again. Another thing we need to do is we need to take advantage of their porous offensive line. I believe their center, Ryan Kelly, is going to be out. He had a concussion last week, so that'll definitely help the Jaguars. And their just offensive line just isn't full of very good, like, very good players. So, that's one of the reasons why they are leading the NFL in sacks allowed. And, that's something that we definitely have to be able to take advantage of, because if we can rattle around, Brissett, he's not a really good enough quarterback to be able to overcome something like that. Another thing I like to do is I like to see our receivers play a little bit better. We need to start getting the receivers involved. It's really pissing me off how many drops that we were having. I mean, when I rewatched that, the Arizona game, it was even more drops than I remember, and it was kind of pissing me off. We can't be dropping the ball, especially, Blake, he's not the most accurate quarterback, but if the ball gets in your hands, you're going to have to make the catch. You know what I mean? Somebody make a play. You got to make a play. Hopefully, I'd like to see D.D. Westbrook get involved. That'd be cool if he had, like, his first 100-yard game. I think this is a very good game to hopefully be able to do that and, get the offense some work, because coming up next week, you had the Seattle Seahawks. So I want to get some, work involved with this receiving core and just try to establish something. So the Jaguars do play at home this Sunday. Unfortunately, this will be the first Jaguar home game I'm not able to go to. But I will be doing like a live stream before the game, so I'm not sure what time I'm going to start the live stream, just because I got a bunch of like yard work and stuff like that to do. But the best way to be notified is to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so you guys will know exactly when I go live, because I don't know if it's going to be, an hour and a half before the game. It could even be like 40 minutes before the game, but the best thing to do is just turn your notifications on, so right when I go live. So this is definitely a must win for the Jaguars. It is looking like Allen Hurns is definitely going to be out. Telvin Smith, we don't know about him yet, after his concussion. Hopefully he'll be back. If he's not back, then Blair Brown will step in his place. I hear Omame and Parnell are back at practice, so that's definitely good news. And luckily, we're not too banged up along the injury front. Granted, the one guy that you'd really like to be 100% healthy is Leonard Fournette, and there's a good chance he's not going to be really 100% the whole year. So that's really disappointing. But hopefully we can see just some more agileness, some more quickness out of him. Just last Sunday, he just did not look his same self. You know what I mean? It just seemed like Adrian Peterson was a more like nimble player, and that's not a good sign going forward. Is because a lot of the times this offense will run through Leonard Fournette, and when Leonard Fournette isn't doing well, it's a pretty big drop off at running back. I mean, you saw Chris Ivory go in there. He had like what? He had only 1 or 2 carries. I just remember that one carry where he fumbled the rock. It's sad to see like he's not doing very well after he really started off the year like electric. Like he was extremely good. Him and Fournette were a really good 1-2 punch. Yeldon will always be Yeldon. I do like Yeldon. He's got some just some more like side to side like horizontal kind of movement, and you saw in the fourth quarter of that last game, he really got into the game plan more just because our downhill running wasn't working. So, that's kind of along the injury front, just keeping you guys updated on that. But, with all that said, good Jaguars, man. Let's hope we get this win, move on to 8-4, and try to really secure up a playoff spot. So with all that said, this is UCF Jaguar with GenJag.com. Check out Generation Jaguar in the links below, and I'll see y'all later.
Bye, Felicia.